right, let's go. So we already know how to factor this. You did what multiplies from my, I think we're good with this actually. Were we good? We need to go over that, any of that? Okay, so what we're doing today is just reviewing more on quadratics. Last time we did factoring, now it's gonna be a lot more with the quadratic stuff. All right, so do we need to review how to factor a quadratic with a leading coefficient other than 1? If yes, let's do it. If not, let's just move on. You were able to long factor on the homework every one? Yes? Okay, sweet. All right, we won't do that then. Okay, now let's talk about this. Now, we could long factor 4x squared minus 16 and it would work out great. But I do want to remind you of a trick you learned in secondary 2 honors, because if you have a trick, you can kind of go a little bit quicker. Now, what you see here is the difference. Now, when I say difference, I mean subtraction of 2 perfect squares. Perfect squares are something that if you take the square root, it comes out perfectly. Now, when that happens here, we have the difference of 2 perfect squares. Notice we have no middle term. Well, this is always going to factor to be as such, and then we can talk about why. So take the square root of the front thing. What do we get? 2x, right? You don't take the square root of the negative, just the square root of the back thing without the minus sign. So the square root of 16 is? 4. Now, guys, 2 perfect squares are always going to factor to be 2x4, 2x4. Now, we need the middle term to cancel out. Look back at the original. What 2 signs would make the middle term cancel out? A plus and a minus, right? A positive and a negative, because they're opposites. Those are called conjugates. Conjugates have a change of sign in between. Look, same terms, change of sign in between. So that is how we would factor 2 perfect squares. Now, would that work if it was addition? So I heard some people say yes, some people say no. Can you explain your answer of yes or no either way? Okay, so let's say that we had, like, let's try 4x squared plus 16, and we're doing the same idea. Or could we do the same idea, the 2x4, 2x4? Okay, let's look. 2x4, 2x4. So then what would the signs be here? Plus and plus. Well, if that's true, that's good thought, but think about this. If it's true, when we start distributing 4x squared, don't we get a plus 8x, which is 16x plus 16. Is that the same? No. Well, how do we get a middle term to cancel out then? Conjugates. Well, if there's a plus and minus, and one of them has to be plus, one of them has to be minus, our nth term is always going to be a negative. Do you guys see how that works? It has to be subtracting 2 perfect squares. All good with that. Okay, so can we use that trick right here? 2 perfect squares. Yes, perfect square, perfect square. What would this factor to be? X plus 5, x minus 5. Here? Nope, it doesn't factor. Good point. Not even long, we can't factor that bad boy. What would this one factor to be? 3x minus 5, 3x plus 5. So that's going to help some of you in the future go quicker, if that makes sense. So how many of you had a little bit of a hard time? Let me just actually insert a page here. With the problem on the homework that looked like this. X to the 4th minus y to the 4th. Did any of you get it? Yeah. Woo! Good job. Good job. Now, the thing is, could you factor this now if I gave you this instead? X squared minus y squared. Based on what we just learned in the last thing we just went over, do we have 2 perfect squares? Square root that, we get x. Square root that, we get y. We have the difference of 2 perfect squares. What would this factor to be? Okay, good. So we have that. That's great. But now it's x to the 4th, y to the 4th. So, can anyone give me how they decided to, like, tackle the problem? Yeah. Okay, so you're saying do the same thing, but x squared minus y squared? Yes, isn't this a perfect square technically, people? What's the square root of x to the 4th? X squared, yeah. What's the square root of y to the 4th? Y squared. So do you guys see how he's just inserting them in, just like we did over here? plus minus. Now we just need to check in our final answer. We now have quadratics. Can any of these quadratics factor more? The sum of two perfect squares? No. The difference of two perfect squares? Yes. Didn't it become that? This became that. We just factored that about 30 seconds ago. Does everybody see how to get to the final answer? So our final answer would be x squared plus y squared times x plus y, x minus y. Hopefully that helps. All right, moving on. Way to go though, way to go though. Okay, what I want you to do is right now I want you to go to the homework and I want you to practice 18 through 21 for like 2 minutes.